Okay, so one you should notice one thing, that we have the screw gauges here to move the both the detector as well as the knife edge in the transverse direction. So we can move them at will in the transverse direction, and we will need this motion in order to move the knife edge in and out of the path of the light, in order to block it from reaching the detector, and then we will need to bring it back. Okay, other thing you should notice is I have placed the detector and the knife edge very close to each other. The reason is, as you can see the spot here, as the laser light is falling on this knife edge, you can see that this is not radiationless. There is some amount of spread here. Okay, you can see that it is making almost a circular spot here, and as the light travels farther and farther, this circular spot becomes larger and larger. This is called the divergence of laser light. So that is why I have put the knife edge and the detector very close to each other, so that after hitting the knife edge, there is not much distance for the light to travel in order to reach the detector, so that the divergence beyond the knife edge is minimized. Okay, now the profile of this beam, as you can see this circular spot, you can think of this circular spot as a cross section of the light coming out of the laser. If you examine the intensity in this cross section, it will have a Gaussian profile, meaning that at the center of this spot the intensity is maximum, and as you go outer towards the edges, the intensity comes down like a Gaussian. So as you can see right now, I have fully blocked the light from reaching the detector, and you can see the output. The current output from the detector is very small. It is of the order of 1 microampere. Okay, so what I will do now is, I will slowly, using this scale here, uh, this scale, we can read the reading from here, and it gives readings in millimeters. Okay, so when I move this scale, I will slowly pull out this knife edge from the path of the light, and as I pull it out, I will see that the intensity and correspondingly the current measurement will increase. Okay, and then I will get a graph between the cumulative power versus the position of the knife edge, which will look like this. Okay, okay, and I am recording my readings here, as you can see. So initially I have set it to 0. I have set the position on the scale to 0. The reading is 0 here. So first I will write down the first reading. So knife edge position is in millimeters, so I take it to be 0 as my initial point, and the intensity right now is 2.0 microampere. Okay, it is roughly around 2.0 microampere. Okay, so now let us pull out the knife edge slowly. So this is, I have already gone through one cycle here, that is equal to 100 millimeters, which means 1 centimeter. I am going through another cycle. Okay, okay. So now the reading is, so I have moved 180 millimeters. Okay, and the reading here is now 24 microampere. Okay. Now we go further. the reading is 144, 142, 44, okay, 141. Alright, so I am at 141 microampere and the position is 230 millimeters. I will keep going. Unfortunately, there is a power cut. So in this way, I will keep going. I will keep pulling out the knife edge, and slowly I will keep taking the readings until all the light is falling into the detector and knife edge is completely out of the way. In that case, I will get the maximum intensity that I could get, which I have seen here. It was around 1100 something microampere, and beyond that, if I keep pulling the edge out, the total intensity will not change. Why? Because the knife edge is already out of the way. Okay. Now if I plot these two variables, I will get a graph that looks like this here. So on the y-axis I have the power output, and on the x-axis I have the position of the knife edge, and as you can see, as I am pulling out the knife edge, the cumulative power is increasing, and this is the case where it has reached saturation, where the knife edge is completely out of the way. Beyond this it will not change. Okay.